My name is DaMon Ross. I'm the founder of Cyber Defense International. We're a boutique cybersecurity consulting firm. I've never ran a business before, just really trying to understand. Although I've been in cyber for over 20-something years, the business aspect was completely new. So really just jumping in, I know I spent way more money than I should have on advice from different consultants and stuff like that. I think the lowest point was once I got some office space and stood up my operations center. we spent a lot of time and effort getting that building, that space right, and getting everything set up. And I wasn't able to get a business permit for my location because apparently the person that rented me the space never got the space inspected by the county and all that code stuff. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, we just spent 2 months building, painting, installing hardware, and I can't even get a building permit. We went down to the county and they were like, yeah, technically this space doesn't exist that you rented. So we had a choice. We either say, you know what, screw it, just forget it, or we just find another space. So just the way my mind worked, I immediately just, I thought, okay, here's the problem. What's the solution? I need to find another space. We were fortunate enough to find another space and move all of that equipment and go through all of that again. So it was another 2 months, and that sucked. That was like that low point where you just gotta keep going. But once we got our second location, which is the same one we're in now, up and going, and just starting to network and let people know what we were doing, what our services were, I ended up meeting people that had different relationships here in the Atlanta area, and I was able to connect with a couple of companies that were on the smaller side, small to medium size. So, a lot of those companies in that market typically don't really have a lot to spend on something like cyber as a SunTrust or Bank of America would. So I was able to help them out with some ideas based on my experience as to how they could, have a really mature cyber program without spending like millions and millions of dollars. That transitioned into, my first paying client. Someone wanted me to help them, help mature their program. My next client experienced a cyber attack, and somebody just called me out of the blue and was like, hey, can you help? So I ended up jumping on that, and that company was really impressed with how we handled it. So they signed up and became a client of ours. I have nothing strategic I can tell you that I did. It was just opportunities presented themselves, and I was in the right place to respond to them, and it just kind of went from there. I wish I had a formula of some type of Harvard Business Review type thing to say, but I don't. I really don't. I've just been doing the same thing I've been doing for 20 years and just, took a big leap of faith.